This is a reduction of my peacock feather cane. The more that the clay gets worked, the warmer it gets, and then it becomes softer, subsequently allowing me to what's called reduce the cane, because right now it's pretty big and I want to bring it down to about this size. I'm not really pulling it, I'm more just having contact with it, with all of the warmth of my hand. And by slapping it on the countertop, it helps. To bring it down. Try to keep it the same size, which can be a little challenging. Pretty soon I'm going to take it to a smaller size. I'm going to not take it to a smaller size, but I'm going to cut it in half here. So it's more manageable size, I guess is what I'm getting at. So there's the peacock pattern. Sorry, it's a little hard to see with the light reflection. How's that? That's better. All right, so then I'm just going to continue. See how pliable it is? If I let it sit, it hardens back up. And then it's really hard to work. It's really hard on the digits. It tends to get a little bit narrower here than it does in the middle. So I try to address from one length to another rather than going from the center out. Then it would get too skinny here and be fat down here. But even though on the ends I know that there's going to be a little bit of distortion, I still want to reduce that and bring it down to the same circumference. I wish it would stretch, but if I were to pull this apart right now, I would just do exactly that, pull it apart, and then it would break, and that would not be good. See, at this point, it's already longer than its other half that I cut apart a few minutes ago. And as you can see, I keep flipping it, turning it, and then I also flip it end over end. Once in a while you'll see a little bit of a, I don't know if that shows up on camera or not. See right there? there was an air bubble in there, and I had sliced into it with my tissue blade, and I thought that I mended it back up, but sometimes when you're doing this process, it tends to want to open up. So I can smooth it out a little bit with the back of my nail and hope it doesn't grow into a big old hole. See, this one, it's almost time to take this into a half again. And I think this is probably the largest peacock cane I've made. I typically do about half this amount in clay. This is about 1.25 pounds of clay, 1.5 pounds maybe. And when I take it down, I'm going to go ahead and cut this in half. And I'm going to move these two off of this cold granite, because it'll just get cold and then I'll have to work twice as hard. But I want to take this down and show you the final shaping, because we're almost down to the home stretch. If I can figure out how to edit my video, I might do a time lapse when I throw this up on my YouTube channel. I think that's looking pretty nice. I'm going to take it down to approximately 1 inch before I start reducing it. Sorry, I didn't mean to say reduce. I've been reducing it before I change the shape. So I brought this home from my work studio to my home studio. So now I'm working on my kitchen counter. The afternoon sun comes in. It feels so good. It's not always the best thing for the camera, but hey, I'm here, aren't I? All right. My fingers are getting tired. I think I'm going to stop camera for a minute or 10, and I'm gonna do some stretching on my fingers, and then I'll be back.